I'm in the kitchen with Nicole. Nicole, what are you baking today?
Well, today, because it's Easter coming up, I'm going to be making a lamb cake. This is the lamb cake mold. Every year the kids love it. It's an Easter treat. They like to fight over who gets to eat the head. So, let's get started. First things first, you'll need a cake mold. This one is a lamb shape. It's resting on an 11 by 17 pan for size reference. I believe you can just Google lamb cake mold and find it on Amazon. The ingredients for the batter of the cake are flour, sugar, salt, Crisco, vanilla, baking powder, milk, and 3 egg whites. The frosting for this recipe is actually a cooked frosting. So we're going to be using flour, milk, vanilla, butter, and I have here some sugar, which we're going to actually turn into super fine sugar. For decorating the lamb cake after it's been frosted, we're going to use some sweetened coconut flakes, some jelly bird eggs that I found here, which are just basically large jelly beans. And then I have here some green food coloring, which we are going to dye some of the coconut for grass. I have here 3 egg whites that I'm gonna pour into my stand mixer and beat until they are stiff. What I have here are 2 cups of flour, which I'm going to add 2.5 teaspoons baking powder and a 3/4 teaspoon of salt. And then I'm going to sift it all together into this bowl. Next, we're gonna cream 1/2 cup of Crisco. Now I'm going to add the sifted ingredients to the creamed shortening. I've got 3/4 cup of milk, and I'm going to add 1 teaspoon vanilla to this. This I'm gonna add directly to my mixture. Next, I'm gonna fold in the egg whites and then beat them for a minute. Here I'm going to grease and flour the lamb cake mold. I've found that you really have to get your hands dirty doing this because there's so many nooks and crannies, and especially in the face and ear area, you just really don't want to miss any little spot. So here I go. Now I'm going to flour these greased pans, and that'll actually show me whether or not I've missed any spots with the grease. Now we're putting the batter into our cake mold. We're going to put it in the side that has the lamb's face, so the front half of the lamb. Now I'm going to put the backside of the lamb on top. And then I'm gonna leave it on this 11 by 17 pan and put it in the oven to bake for 45 to 55 minutes. We just got this out of the oven. As you can see, this is why you want it on a pan, because some of the grease leaks out. I just give it a little knock to try and loosen it up. There you go, voila. Here I have 1 cup milk. I have a 1/4 cup flour, and I'm gonna add it to the milk over medium heat. We need 3/4 cup of superfine sugar, so I'm just going to pour some sugar into here. This is a coffee grinder I've repurposed. And we're just gonna grind it up. I'm gonna check on it. Perfect. So we got some superfine sugar. I've got my 2 sticks of butter in my mixing bowl. I'm gonna add in a 3/4 cup of my superfine sugar that I made. Next, I'm gonna add 2 teaspoons of vanilla. A little heavy-handed with the vanilla. I'm now gonna add the cooked part of the frosting to the butter mixture frosting. All right, so I'm gonna start to decorate the lamb now that the cake is cooled and the frosting is done. First thing I'm gonna do is stand the lamb up, but in order to do that, I need to frost the bottom so that it will stick to the pan. So I'm just gonna take some frosting and put it on the bottom. Next, you're gonna take the shredded sweetened coconut and gently coat the lamb cake. You might need to sprinkle some parts and gently press in other parts. Next, we're going to dye a bag of sweetened coconut green for the grass around the lamb. So I just take some green food coloring and just put in a little spritz and stir it up until it's the color that I want. Here is the finished product of our Easter lamb cake, our family tradition.